To me, if you have to make an organization great, first let's try to make it a great place to work. I would personally follow and advocate a few guiding principles to make an organization great. First, culture. Second, benchmarking. Third, happy stakeholders. Fourth, adaptability and realism. Fifth, commit to execution and continuous improvement. And besides these 5 principles, there is always surrounded by 2 golden and guiding rules as quoted by Mr. Reynard and Mr. Ahmed. Better before cheaper and revenue before cost. Now let us look at these principles now. Culture. Culture to me is even more important than strategy. Each culture has different tactics and unique qualities based on geographies and industries, but culture is always centered on the employees. It is about making sure employees have a fun and productive working environment which sustains their enthusiasm. When we focus on culture, we will have guiding principles and value systems in place. People will know and feel it. Employees will live by it. It creates an openness in communication and allows you to accept good suggestions coming from all quarters, be it small or big. It guides employees to make decisions and feel empowered to handle unprecedented situations. Culture should be one culture. I mean, be it a head office or a last mile network point or a remotely located branch. Culture should reflect oneness across the organization. Only then it would make sense. Culture is kind of a glue that keeps the company together, and leadership team should strive to hire people who fit the organization's culture, make employees know the values and mission of the company, welcome the feedback, put emphasis on purpose, and help get all employees working on the same mission. Now, second principle, benchmarking. Use metrics and analytics to establish a benchmark which should be a realistic one. One should begin by analyzing organization's culture to establish a benchmark driven by the ambition of the leadership team. Then measure progress regularly. Key parameters in benchmarking is determining the drivers of employee satisfaction and aligning the organization's goals to them. If need may be, one should take help of a professional consultant to develop an employee satisfaction survey, industry benchmarking, and market perception. Next, happy stakeholders. Needless to say that unless all stakeholders are happy, it is impossible to dream of a great organization. Employees, business partners, and customers. While customers are the purpose of business and all products and services should bear them in mind from conceptualization to execution stages, we also need to take care of employees who are drivers of the business. To me, employees are the face of any brand. The quickest way to destroy brand equity is to disrespect them. Once you've lost trust, it's only a matter of time before you lose the customer. Any company that's truly interested in customer satisfaction must first meet the needs of its employees. Otherwise, it's putting the cart before the horse. To me, employees and business partners fall in similar paradigm. It is extremely important to make stakeholder satisfaction a strategic corporate goal by engaging all of their associates in building the business, from idea creation through delivery. Ideas just don't come up tops down. They also come bottoms up and from every other direction. Everyone associated with the company should feel that they own a piece of the action and are accountable for how the company performs. The inspiration for a company starts at the top, but good leadership drives that inspiration deep into the company by engaging all stakeholders broadly in decision making. Then, adaptability and realism. To compete effectively, organizations must be adaptable to a changing environment and technology. In the age of digitalization, we must gear up to adapt enhanced technology without losing out on the most important human connections. The organization has to be capable of seizing an opportunity and dealing with unexpected problems to turn them into opportunities. Precedence is not always right or wrong. It's just not enough to do something because it is always done that way. One must be ready to meet the future needs today. Realistically, a successful organization should be able to analyze data and make adjustments accordingly, as opposed to giving a hiding or a glowing report when times are tough. Facing difficulties without realistic solutions and not going through the motions without any substance will lead to a disaster. Reality is far more important than form. Then, commit to execution, continuous improvement. Satisfying a customer requires relentless attention to execution. Building a company's capability to deliver makes the difference between turning a great idea into a business or a failure. It needs a great deal of focus on execution. Making any company a great place to work starts at the top. Management must place as high a priority on employee satisfaction as it does on customer satisfaction, quality, financials, and other strategic business performance measures. To make any company a great place to work, it is very important to understand that we are committing to an ongoing journey rather than a short-term project. And in spite of measurable results, we will still have areas which will need improvement. Now, coming to the two golden rules as quoted by Mr. Rayner and Mr. Ahmed, which I firmly believe are the most important factors in making a great organization as binding principles while we follow the just mentioned principles. The first golden rule, better before cheaper. In other words, compete on differentiators other than price. It is very interesting to note that competitive positions built on greater differentiation through brand, style, exceptional customer service parameters, wow experiences or reliability are more likely to drive exceptional performance than positions built on lower prices. This is one of the guiding principles one should always bear in mind before straightaway raising the curtain for price reduction. If we can differentiate ourselves in giving superior value or experience for customers, then the customers do not mind spending that extra money for such superior value or experience. But the most important factor is to perfect that art of giving that superior value to customer. Now, the second golden rule, revenue before cost, that is, prioritize increasing revenue over reducing cost. To me, cost reduction is not always directly proportional to profits. In fact, beyond a certain point, cost reductions can become counterproductive and cannot be rationalized. Instead, if an organization focuses more on revenue increasing avenues and business models, it will be a guiding principles for a long-term sustainable business model. So, in my view, one has to realize the importance of these two guiding rules, better before cheaper and revenue before cost, along with the 5 core principles which I mentioned earlier: culture, benchmarking, happy stakeholders, adaptability and realism, commit to continuous improvement. In my view, these are the key factors which I genuinely believe will help building a great organization. If you have any suggestions or feedback, please do contact me. I'll be happy to hear from you. Wish you great luck.